What's up, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with your free Major League Baseball home run prop show for Saturday, August 5th, 2023. Just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Smash that thumbs up. It helps us out a ton. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily $19 best bet, make sure you head on over to Pickdawgz.com and click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. Let's get into the home run prop action for Saturday. Do a recap. We had a great day with the home run props on Friday. A total of 7 winners. We had a couple of leans that came through for us. We're not going to count those, even if we did put a couple of bucks on them. It's the official plays that we care about. Like I said, 7 of those and some nice plus money payouts as well. Today's card, Saturday's card, not loving it as much, if I'm being completely honest with you. I mean, we're able to find some angles, and you'll see we do have plenty of home run props. But there's a few games that I just couldn't get good reads on. There's a few games where we have a stack of players that you can just pick and choose from. But there's other ones where it would make sense to have a couple of plays in it. But again, nothing really stands out, so we'll have to see. But before we get into those, I want to do my disclaimer. I have to remind everybody these home run props are very high risk, high reward. They are plays that I don't recommend anybody dump their whole bankroll into. They're just there to have some fun with for some side action, for some pizza money or some coffee money. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, I do give out a lot of home run props on this show. You don't have to play every single one that I do give out here, but you're welcome to if that's what you choose to do. But any plays that you do take from here, I just recommend playing them straight up. Just as single bets, but I do know that some people like to parlay these home run props. So what I always recommend is if you're doing a home run prop parlay and it's 3 legs or more, take a look into a round robin. Yes, the bet is going to cost a little bit more at that point, but it's going to give you a safety net in the event that something goes wrong. I mean, how many times when we're doing something that's picking a side or a total, how many times we had that 3-leg parlay get busted up because one of the legs didn't come through for us, and because we didn't have that safety net, that round robin, we didn't get paid. But if you have the round robin, you get paid if you hit 2 out of 3, and if you hit 3 out of 3 or even better, whatever you bet, if you hit all your bets on that parlay, you get all the combinations of the smaller legs that you played as well. So definitely something worth looking into. And we did a couple tutorials on those. So if you want, just scroll back through the home run prop videos. You can find the tutorial. You can just see how to do it. If that's not something that your book offers, you can do it yourself quite easily. But let's take a look at the home run props that we did hit on Friday. And like I said, we did have a pretty good day with them as well. We started off with Yordan Alvarez coming through at plus 225. Giancarlo Stanton came through at plus 430. Had a nice payday with Bobby Witt at plus 600. And Brian Reynolds as well at plus 540. Nolan Gorman was probably the stud of the day. He came through at plus 330, but you could have probably got a really nice payday if you bet on him to hit 2 home runs, as he did in that game against the Rockies. We also hit Luis Rengifo at plus 650. And Mike Moustakas came through as well for us at plus 460 in that game. So definitely, like I said, some nice plus money paydays in there. But, we will get into the home run prop action for Saturday in just one moment. But I want to remind everybody, I love interacting with you guys in the comments. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you like the angles I took on some of these games? Do you not like the angles? Do you have player props of your own? Again, drop them in there. But I ask if everyone's going to drop them in there. Get them in there before the game start. If they're not in there before the game start, they don't help anybody. We're trying to beat the books here as a team at Pickdawgz. One team, one goal. And that goal every single day is to get us paid. I think that these home run props on Saturday, well, like I said, while I don't love the card, the home run props that we do have, I think are going to help us get paid. So let's take a look at the home run prop action for Saturday. We're going to start with this matchup. I didn't love either of the 1 o'clock games, the 1 o'clock Eastern games. For home run props, I think you're going to have a couple of great games there, but nothing stood out for me for homers. So we're going to move right into the 2 o'clock time slot, and this matchup between the Braves and the Cubs. We're going to start with Austin Riley at plus 370. He's hitting 346 with 4 home runs, 6 extra base hits against right-handed pitching in the last week. Javier Assad looks to be making the bullpen start for the Cubs, but like I said, even if it's a bullpen game, the Braves woke up again on Friday. I like homers for them here on Saturday, led by Riley. So give me Austin Riley at plus 370. I'm also going to take Ronald Acuna Jr. at plus 380. He's hitting a ridiculous 542 with a pair of home runs, 4 extra base hits against right-handed pitching in the last week. So give me Ronald Acuna Jr. at plus 380. Also going to look at Matt Olson at plus 235. He's hitting 450 with 5 home runs, 6 extra base hits against righties in the last week. Let's take Matt Olson at plus 235. Also going to look at Marcell Ozuna at plus 370. He's hitting 318 with 4 home runs, 6 extra base hits against righties in the last week. Let's give you Marcell Ozuna at plus 370. Now, I did want to have a couple of plays on the Cubs in this game as well. But again, couldn't find prices on them. I'm doing this video around 6 a.m. Eastern on Saturday, so just some lines and some prices hadn't developed at the time this video is being recorded. But if you are, if you do have a pen and paper, I would recommend writing these down. The 2 Cubs that I like in this game are Ian Happ for the Cubs. Bryce Elder hadn't given up a ton of homers this year, but he has given up 4 in his last 4 starts. And Ian Happ, the one Cubs bat that I could still trust to stay hot after that hot run that the Cubs were on. He's still hitting 385 with 5 extra base hits, including a pair of homers in the last week against righties. And I also like Dansby Swanson, just the revenge angle against his former team. He also has a pair of homers against righties in the last week. I could also lean towards Cody Bellinger and Nico Horner as well for the Cubs. But moving on, I'm going to go to this match between the Rangers and the Marlins. For the Marlins, I'm going to start with Brian De La Cruz at plus 550. He's the only Marlins bat I can consistently trust right now for power. He's got a pair of home runs against righties in the last week. Now, John Gray hasn't allowed much for the Rangers, but he's been far less effective at home this season. I think Brian De La Cruz brings some value to the table, so I'll back him here at plus 550. Also going to go with Adolis Garcia at plus 340. It just looks to be a bullpen game for Miami here, so throwing the handedness for pitching out the window, but Garcia still has 3 home runs overall with a 375 average in the last week. It's going to be with Adolis Garcia at plus 340. I'm also going to take Corey Seager at plus 340. He's got a pair of home runs in the last week, but also a 500 isolated power rating, which is insane for a 7-day span for an individual. So I'll take Corey Seager at plus 340. Also leans towards Marcus Semien and Mitch Garver in that matchup. Now, for me, I think this is another catalog spot for the Cincinnati Reds, even more so than it was on Friday. Yohan Adon gets the start for the Nationals, and he was garbage for the Nationals in 14 starts last season. We made a ton of money fading him on the morning show. And, to think now he has a start at Great American Ballpark to face a Reds team that has a ton of guys with power. Guys like Ellie De La Cruz, Matt McLean, Spencer Steer all come to mind. Maybe Jake Fraley and Joey Votto as well. Like I said, Friday, I think you could make a case for any Cincinnati bat, and I'd have a hard time arguing it. Now, I also wanted to have some plays on this Red Sox-Blue Jays game, but no starter announced for Boston, so it's a bit tricky to cap some Blue Jays here. But for the Red Sox bats, again, take this down if you have pad and paper. Against Jose Barrios, I would look at Jarren Duran, who does have a pair of home runs, 3 extra base hits, and 8 career at-bats against Jose Barrios. And Masataka Yoshida has gone 4 for 6 with a pair of extra base hits and a homer against Barrios, maybe Rafael Devers as well. So just my opinion on that Blue Jays and Red Sox game. But going to the matchup between the Phillies and the Royals here, I'm going to go with Nick Castellanos for a home run here at plus 380. He's got a pair of home runs against righties in the last 10 days. I don't love a lot of Philadelphia Phillies right now, but I need to play against Alec Marsh for Kansas City, who has allowed 9 home runs in his first 5 major league starts. It's going to be Nick Castellanos at plus 380. Also going to take Bryson Stott at plus 650. He's hitting 385 with 5 extra base hits in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. We usually get good prices with Bryson Stott. I think this one is sort of in that same realm where we get with Bryson Stott. Normally it's in the plus 700 and up range, but I'll still take plus 650 with Bryson Stott. I think JT Realmuto, Kyle Schwarber, those kind of guys are still in play as well. Always when you look when you look at them in a spot like this, so I wouldn't be against it. I also lean towards Brandon Marsh, who is hitting 333 with 3 extra base hits, including a homer in the last week against righties. But moving on for this matchup between the Orioles and the Mets, I'm going to go with a couple of Orioles here. I'm going to go with Gunnar Henderson at plus 375. He's hitting 364 with a home run, 5 extra base hits in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. Now, Tyler McGill makes his first start since mid-June, has an ERA just under 8 on the road, and I just think Gunnar Henderson tags him here. So give me Gunnar Henderson at plus 375. Also going to go with Ryan Mountcastle at plus 500. He's hitting 500 with 3 extra base hits, including a home run against righties in the last 10 days. Now, a lot of that came in that series against Toronto. I think he's going for dual citizenship, Ryan Mountcastle, so that he can play the majority of his games here, just the way he was tearing it up in Toronto. But anyways, I think he could still carry over some of that success here in this matchup against the Mets. So give me Ryan Mountcastle at plus 500. On the other side for the Mets, I'm going to go with Francisco Lindor at plus 550. He's hitting 400 with 4 extra base hits, including a pair of home runs against righties in the last 10 days. Now, Kyle Gibson, he has pitched better as of late, but he still has had some bumpy outings at home recently. I think Lindor could get one here. So give me Francisco Lindor at plus 550. I'm also going to look at Pete Alonso at plus 410. He's hitting 348 with a pair of home runs, 3 extra base hits in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. So I'm going to take Pete Alonso at plus 410. Now, before we get into our last few home run prop games of the day, I just want to remind everybody, obviously the purpose of this home run prop show is to put some cash in your pockets by way of free home run prop winners, but it's also to highlight the benefits of using the betting tools at Pickdawgz and Sports Chat Place. The betting tools from Pickdawgz and Sports Chat Place are where we get the graphics directly from for this home run prop show. They show you the player prop, they show you how often it hits, and they show you which sports book is giving you the best price. Now, the nice thing is if you don't have an account with the book that's giving you the best price, you click on that price, you sign up, you get a free sportsbook boner. That was a Freudian slip. Sportsbook bonus offer on us. As a new customer, you get to play that bonus offer with that best price, and you also get to add to your advantage over the books that they can't take from you, which is your ability to shop lines and find the best possible number. Depending on your betting style, there's something for everybody at Pickdawgz and Sports Chat Place. There's a streaks tool if you like betting hot and cold streaks. If you're a parlay bettor, there's multiple parlay builders there for you that'll build a parlay based on how you want to bet your money, how you want to play. There's profitable teams, profitable angles, profitable underdogs. The list goes on and on. I could talk on and on about how great these betting tools are, but like I said, with everybody having their own betting style and a way they like to spend their money, and everybody's spends their money differently, I think it's just best if you guys go on over. It's far more effective if you check out these betting tools for yourself. So make sure you head on over to pickdawgz.com, sportschatplace.com, and give them a look. But let's get back to the home run prop action for Saturday. Just a few more games to look at here. First one I'm going to look at here is Jose Ramirez for the Guardians at plus 475. He's hitting 385 with 4 home runs, 5 extra base hits in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. Now, normally I don't love backing the Guardians as they are dead last in homers against righties this season. But Ramirez, he has a career home run off of Michael Kopech, and that came in Kopech's last start against the Guardians. And Ramirez actually had a pair of home runs in that game. So it could be worth a look at 2+ home runs for Ramirez for a sprinkle. You'll probably get some nice plus money on that. Probably in the plus 14 to 1,500 range at the very least, if I had to guess. But I think it could be worth a look here. So give me Jose Ramirez for a home run at plus 475. I could lean towards Stephen Kwan as well. As usually there's a ton of value with him. He is hitting 370 with 3 extra base hits, including a homer in the last 10 days against righties, with that home run coming off of Michael Kopech as well in that last start. But nothing else overly strong for me otherwise in that game for the Guardians. Now for the White Sox, the only one I'm going to go with here is Luis Robert at plus 370. I just really do not love the White Sox right now, but I think Noah Syndergaard pitched a bit above his pay grade in that start against the Houston Astros. We know what Noah Syndergaard is capable of, and Robert hitting 286 with a home run, 3 extra base hits against righties in the last 10 days. So give me Luis Robert at plus 370. Also going to look at William Contreras as a standalone play for the Brewers here at plus 390. This is purely a matchup play for me, as Contreras 2 for 5 in his career against Bailey Falter with a home run. Now Falter, that name sounds familiar, is because he pitched for the Phillies earlier this season. Now he's getting called back up from the minors to start for Pittsburgh here, but the dude was awful with the Phils earlier this season. I'd look for Contreras to welcome him back with a not-so-warm welcome here. Contreras also hitting 333 with a home run in the last 10 days against left-handed pitching. So give me William Contreras at plus 390. Now let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any plays in this Dodgers-Padres game. Don't love it for homers. I know it's a marquee game, Dodgers-Padres, and we saw a few homers on Friday, but that came against the bullpens. And for me, I got to factor in the starting pitching as well. And Blake Snell getting the start here probably means that opportunities are going to be very few and far between for even the Dodgers in the first couple turns through that rotation, because the Snell has been lights out. And the Padres haven't, the Dodgers haven't announced a pitcher yet. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. See if we can come up with something for that game. So like I said, Dodgers-Padres almost feels like a shame to not have anything in that one. But I just, again, didn't love it. So nothing overly strong, I should say, stood out for me in that one. But anyways, let's get back into our last game. We're going to look at this matchup between the Angels and the Mariners. First one I'm going to go with is Shohei Ohtani at plus 290. Now, am I concerned about the cramps in Ohtani's hand? Yes, but I still think he can hit a homer like he did when he was dealing with the cramps as a pitcher on Thursday. He has a strong past against Seattle's George Kirby, hitting .429 and 14 at-bats against Kirby with a home run, a pair of extra base hits. He's also hitting .481, Ohtani is, with 4 home runs, 6 extra base hits in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. Let's give me Shohei Ohtani at plus 290. I'm also going to look at Luis Rengifo at plus 650. He homered yesterday. He's hitting .270 with 5 extra base hits, including a pair of homers in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. Let's give me Luis Rengifo at plus 650. Also going to look at Hunter Renfroe at plus 500. He's hitting .364 with a pair of homers and 6 extra base hits in the last 10 days against righties. Let's give me Hunter Renfroe at plus 500. I think you could also lean towards Mike Moustakas and Eduardo Escobar if you're looking for some more Angels in that matchup as well. And the lone standalone play for the Mariners for me here, Julio Rodriguez at plus 360. He's hitting .500 with a home run against left-handed pitching in the last 10 days. Now, Tyler Anderson, I will die on this hill that I stand by the sentiment that he is nowhere near the same pitcher that tore it up for the Dodgers last year, playing more towards the Tyler Anderson we've come to expect to see year in and year out. I think J-Rod could tag him here. But again, not many other Seattle bats I like against lefties here. But are you guys are you guys playing something? Drop them in the comments down below. But let's do a recap of the home run props that we did give out for Saturday's action. I said, didn't love the card today, but still hoping to carry on some of that success from Friday's card. I'm going to start with Austin Riley at plus 370, Ronald Acuna Jr. at plus 380, Matt Olson at plus 235, and Marcelo Zuna at plus 370. For the Cubs, when you find prices on them, I like Ian Happ and Dansby Swanson as well. Also leans towards Cody Bellinger and Nico Horner. For the Miami Marlins, Brian De La Cruz at plus 550. Adolis Garcia at plus 340. Corey Seager at plus 340. Also leans towards Marcus Semien and Mitch Garver. Again, if you want to hear my thoughts on the catalog spot for the Cincinnati Reds, just scroll a few minutes after a minute after the Seager pick, and you can hear all my thoughts on the Reds and Nationals in that one. For the Boston and Toronto game, again, with no starting pitcher announced for Boston, it makes it hard to cap for Toronto. But for the Red Sox, I do like Jarren Duran and Masataka Yoshida. Also lean towards Rafael Devers as well. For the Philadelphia Phillies, no, not Gunnar Henderson. He can wait. He can wait a second. Nick Castellanos at plus 380. Also going to take Bryson Stott at plus 650. Again, leans towards JT Realmuto, Kyle Schwarber, and Brandon Marsh in that game. Now we get to Gunnar Henderson at plus 375. Ryan Mountcastle at plus 500. Francisco Lindor at plus 550. Pete Alonso at plus 410. Jose Ramirez at plus 475. Luis Robert. After Jose Ramirez, I could lean towards Stephen Kwan as well. For the White Sox, Luis Robert at plus 370. William Contreras for the Brewers at plus 390. Shohei Ohtani for the Angels at plus 290. Luis Rengifo at plus 650. Hunter Renfroe at plus 500 with leans towards Mike Moustakas and Eduardo Escobar for the Angels as well. And for the Seattle Mariners, Julio Rodriguez at plus 360 to round things out. But thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Up over 136,000 subscribers here on our YouTube channel. Could not have done it without you guys' love and support, so thank you so much for that. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed to our channel and hit that thumbs up. Really helps us out a lot, especially if you like this content. It lets me know that you guys enjoy it, and it'll help keep me producing it for you up until the playoffs. And also make sure that you have notifications turned on so you can be the first to be in the know when the newest content drops here at Pickdawgz. I don't always have it up this early. Sometimes we get prices, but this is the peril. Sometimes I try to get it out early for you guys, but I didn't have prices on all the plays I had wanted to get them on. So, good comes with the bad. But either way, regardless of when it comes out, if you have notifications on, you get notified as soon as this content drops. As soon as all of our freshest content drops, you're able to get those best possible numbers in and be able to get them in before the lines start to move against you. And if you're looking for best bets, again, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium. But while you're at Pickdawgz, while you're at Sports Chat Place, check out these betting tools. I promise you, you will not regret it. They are 100% free. You're not going to find betting tools like this anywhere. And even if you find anything remotely close, they're not going to be 100% free like we're giving them to you here. These are some of the best betting tools in the business. What you see with these graphics is what I see when I use these betting tools. So it's not like any special treatment. You're getting some of the best of the best. And Like I said, they're going to make you a ton of money. They'll do the heavy lifting for you. You just got to go over to Pickdawgz Sports Chat Place and check them out. But thank you for watching. Again, appreciate you guys. Let's crush the books on Saturday.